I'm actually kidnapped and here against my will. If you're listening, if you could save me, please. Call 911. Jeremy locked me in his basement.
This was the only way to get you on the show.
Well, I hope it's worth it. I hope it's worth it.
It'll be worth it.
Call 911. Help, please.
Welcome back to a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odom. I am your host. Right off the top, I just want to say thank you. Thank you and thank you to everybody who has been listening to the shows, liking, giving a 5-star rating, sharing anything related to the show to try to help get the audience up, and anyone who's honestly gave me some feedback. I appreciate it, and we're going to continue to make this show better and better each episode. We have a fantastic guest for you today. He is no stranger to comedy. He is no stranger to the second show in Lincoln that I did, where I bombed so horrific that it is something to listen. I mean, it is something you will want to listen to, and someday, like I've told you before, someday I will release the footage. You will hear the incredibly awkward and silent bombing that still haunts me in my dreams. I do not sleep well at night. It has nothing to do with the Crohn's disease. It has nothing to do with stress from work. It has nothing to do with the pressures of family life or the world around me. It's 100% because of that second show in Lincoln, and thankfully, nobody outside of those that were there entertaining that night were witness to it. But someday the tapes will be released. But Anthony was there, and we definitely will dig into that here on the show. So here we are. He's your guest. You've seen him in Rampage, President Down, the movie on Netflix. You've heard him on the Anthony Rogers Show, a podcast that is available anywhere you can get your podcasts, and also streams live on Tuesdays on YouTube at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. You also see him live all over the United States. Check anthonyrogers.us for tour dates. It is Anthony Rogers. Okay, Anthony Rogers, host of the Anthony Rogers Show. Thank you for joining the show and taking time with me today. You've been in the news a lot lately. You got a new co-host, Nikki Knightley.
Yeah, we have a new co-host, man, for real. It's pretty cool, and yeah, Nikki Knightley's been doing a good job, I think.
So how did you get in touch with her? Has she been a guest on the show like previously?
That's kind of what happened. I think she was a guest once or twice, and what happened was I was in the woods and I lost my signal and on one of my shows, and I cut out because my internet was bad. And she just kept going, talking to this theoretical physicist, and she was more interesting than he was. And I was just like, okay, she's actually really good. And people that watched the show and listened to the show kind of liked her, and just clicked with her and thought she was kind of cool. And I mean, it's kind of what's happened, I guess. So people kind of picked it more than me, I guess.
That's awesome. Nikki Knightley, so she is a person of lots of trades. She's a porn star, a psychic, a comedian, and now co-host of the Anthony Rogers Show, which the topics on your show are wide-ranging. You've got anything from musicians telling ghost stories, porn stars telling ghost stories, China taking over the world. What are you looking for, I guess, in your show? Like when you're writing what each episode's going to be about, what are you looking for? Like what causes the creativity there?
I think you expect too much out of me that I actually wrote something. I think you're way more on it than I am with that. I basically just kind of put interesting people together and see what they do. Like one time I put a theoretical physicist and Violent J from ICP in conversation about time travel, and I was just like, this is gonna be great. It's just I think I'm just trying to impress the 14-year-old version of myself all the time.
Oh, nice. Have you talked to ICP about professional wrestling before? Because they're huge fans.
No, I need to just have him on a show and just or have them on a show and just talk about that. But yeah, the subject last time was just time travel, so we just talked about that the whole time.
Oh, that's fantastic. So your show normally can be found on YouTube. You are on Rumble this week, and you can find that every Tuesday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. It is worth your time, worth your watch, worth your listen. You can also find it basically anywhere that you find your podcast, where you stream your podcast. But the Anthony Rogers show. Would you say that's your baby? Like that's the vehicle that you're trying to drive forward for the Anthony Rogers brand?
I mean, it's funny you brought that up, and like super nice way of wording things, and I really appreciate all like the politeness and stuff, brother. But yeah, no. So yeah, no. I think that's the main thing. But comedy, I see that in comedy. I was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, I feel like I have two careers right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I travel as a comedian. I don't know how well I am at that. I'm on the bar and grill scene, so I'm not sure how big I am as a comedian. But yeah, I'd say the podcast. Yeah, to answer your question, yes. I'd say it's the main thing, probably. I guess it would be. And I'm trying to catch comedy up with it, probably.
So you've been in stand-up comedy for how long now?
9 years-ish, something like that.
Okay. And I caught on with you this past year as you were going on tour. You were coming through the area. You started in Missouri or like the St. Louis area?
Kansas City was the first show I had in that run out, and then you were the third, I think. I think it was Omaha, and then it was Lincoln. I think you're on the Lincoln shows.
Yeah. When you started 9 years ago, did you start in Missouri or were you somewhere else?
I actually started in Seattle. That was the first show at the Cannabis Farmers Market. It was like it was like 2014, and like I'd never seen. It's weed's still not legal in Nebraska where you're at, but like in Missouri it just turned legal. But like this was like 2014, and that was like the most weed I've ever seen in my life. And then everyone's handing me stuff, and then like pixie sticks and sodas, and they're like, "Oh, you're on in 15 minutes." And that was my first experience of comedy ever. Like I never did open mics or anything like that. As far as I did open mics, like I thought I was a musician first. So this is the first time I ever did comedy.
So you went on stage and just did with 4 or 5 minutes, just off the top of your head.
Yeah. It was so fucking, I was so stoned. I basically just like complimented everybody for having the best seat in the house because they got to look at me. It was like really dumb. I was like, you guys are really lucky that you guys get to look at me. I have to look at you guys, And it's like just this whole like really childish, dumb shtick like that for like 15 minutes probably.
Oh, that's awesome. It's funny you said that because your style is very conversational. Like when I had the opportunity to see you in Lincoln, it's very like you're up there, you're sitting, you're just chatting, and you're interacting with the audience. It's very conversational. It doesn't seem like you're running bits necessarily. It just seems like you're just dropping lines off the top of your head and then punchline, and then another line and then punchline. Like it's fantastic. Very different for sure. So you took the show to Hawaii this past year in your special films Sunburn in Hawaii, which you can find on YouTube. What was that like going to Hawaii and bringing your Midwest brand?
That was weird. I think Hawaii was a bigger deal to everybody but me. Like I just feel like it was another show kind of thing. But everybody else was like, "Oh man, you going to Hawaii?" Like kind of thing. And then like my mother-in-law was like, "You got to bring your wife." I'm like, "Oh man, I better bring my wife so she doesn't hate me for that." And then I brought my wife, and then like it was fun. Like 3 days, it was like magic. And then like the third day, I'm like, I want to go home. Or fourth day, I was like, I want to go home. This sucks. It's kind of my experience. It's like a third world country with everything is expensive. That's what Hawaii's doing like that.
Well, it's kind of like Vegas. It's a blast the first 2 days, and then by the third day, you're exhausted.
100% like Vegas. Yeah, no, it's just like that. Yep. That's a great comparison, brother. That's 100% like that. And like, yeah, there's like chickens crossing the road, and the coffee's like $20. I'm like, this sucks.
Oh my.
What? I'm a Missouri guy, man. Missouri's very close to Nebraska. Like, yeah, you guys are nicer up there. Probably is the only difference.
Well,
you have a nicer state.
We're nice because we're just excited to have people come visit. I mean, that's.
I love Nebraska, man. Like, you're in a very nice area. I'm trying to get more established in like the Omaha and Lincoln markets, I think, and like, I love the comedy scene up there. You got a lot of good comedians. And I just the area is really nice, man. And you're probably not Republican, but everyone else is there. And like it's really nice that you know what I mean? And for me it's like really nice. Like everybody's just like I think my Lyft driver was like I told him I was from Missouri and he's like, "Oh, that's where Rush Limbaugh." Excuse me. He's like, "Oh, that's where Rush Limbaugh's from." And I'm like, "Oh man, I like this guy already." It's a good bump up there, man.
That's awesome. Well, I know when we were in Lincoln, I know your Omaha shows went better than what we had. We were at a bar. It was a lot of fun. In fact, we did 2 shows, and the first show. I had a blast opening for you and appreciate the opportunity. The second show was the worst one I've ever done in my life. And it had nothing to do with you. It was me.
No, I know. Same. No, yeah, dude. Those were one of the 3 shows that messed up. I had about a 20-state tour. Three of those shows weren't good. Omaha, the first time was good. Like, I messed up and double booked Omaha. So, like, the first time I did, like, the Pillion, and it was good. And then I did, I come back to do, like, Omaha, and it was just, like, the Lincoln thing. It was just, like, under-promoted and just, like, kind of weird. And then, like, the comics were awesome. I had a good time with the comics, like, on both shows, to be honest. And then, like, but I overbooked Omaha, I feel like, to where, like, Omaha and Lincoln in a row were just, like, terrible. And then, like, the next shows were cool.
Yeah.
It was such a bad start. But I mean, I'm new there. I haven't, those are my first couple shows in your market, even though, so it's like, I'm trying to figure it out still.
Well, Papillion I know is a growing market and is doing very well. Justin Healy is doing a fantastic job of building that market for
That's actually
Papillion.
where I was. I did a show there, that's where I actually met Justin that time and
Okay.
like put him on the show. And I did a show there, and then my buddy's band's he's in Smile Empty Soul, and he did a show in Omaha. And I went to see them the next day at like a Bentley dealership with a speakeasy in it. Like it was like crazy.
I love that venue. They put on great shows. Sometimes they'll do an
Have you
outdoor
been there?
show. Oh yeah, yeah, it's awesome. There's a few
Rules.
venues out west, Omaha, that are like that, where you wouldn't think they're doing anything inside of it, and you go inside. It's a beautiful bar. We've got a stage and some big name. I mean, Everclear. I've seen Everclear there. It's fantastic. But yeah, Justin Healy's doing a great job building up that Papillion Marshall. Thank you for setting him up there because he's doing awesome. He's working hard.
I like him a lot. I like him and Caleb and you. And you got about 10 really good comics out there. I just want to start naming names. I'll forget some and I'll A before.
Yeah.
But there's like literally probably about 10 strong comics out there, man, that really have a lot of potential. And I really love your market up there, man, to be honest.
The tour was great. 2024. I noticed on the website today it said tour dates coming. What are you thinking? Like, what are you planning for 2024 to take it to the next level?
I'm trying to figure that out. I kind of want my summer free this time so I can go to Greece and have fun and stuff. And like the Bible's like written there, and I kind of want to explore a little bit and stuff. Like, I kind of want to check out Greece this summer. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know. I'll probably tour in spring, maybe. I'll probably do like a bunch of shows. I got like some loose negotiations. I haven't been saying yes to any things. I've been helping my mom like kind of heal. I don't know the timeline for that, so it's like hard to like pick dates. But I think here in a month or two, I'll start locking down on what I want to do and where I want to go.
No, that's awesome. You hopefully will take the bus out, right? You tell me about the bus.
Oh yeah, I can't. Yeah, you can't travel without that anymore. Like you saw that, man. You park in front of you park your living room in front of a venue, man. It's the best.
So how many states, I guess, did you take that bus?
I'd argue 20, but maybe 15. So I think I took a car one. Yeah, I borrowed a car one time. Yeah. So about 15 or more.
Okay. So it's a school bus, and you converted it into, like you said, a living room. I mean, it was awesome inside. Like, take me through that process.
Oh yeah, okay. So my wife and I like basically saw off all the COVID lockdowns, like losing our rights type thing. We lived in the major city, or I mean, I don't know if it's still a major city, but St. Louis, it was a major city one time. So, but we lived there, and like everything turned into like an Anne Frank movie or something. And I was just like, everybody's like hiding and like trying to tell me for smoking cigarettes outside and stuff. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. This is crazy. and then I just like built a bus. I lost very little room from my apartment. I took the bus really. I lost maybe a little width.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same shotgun style apartment I have. And then I got a king size bed, I got a bathtub, I got whatever I need, and I don't even really use the bathroom there, but I have it if I need it. Yep. And I have like all this other stuff. I mean, yeah, it's like it's magic, man. It's like paying no bills is like the best thing ever as an adult.
I'd say some of my favorite. I mean, you're a funny guy anyway, but some of my favorite content from you is the bus stuff. Whenever you're just driving the bus, like the pics of you just driving, you just look so determined wherever you're going. Like it's not meant to be funny, but it's just the picture of it is amazing. I definitely enjoy that.
Well, yeah, me and the bus are both like cartoon objects almost. Like like a giant beard and a bus, and like you probably want a bus, man. I mean, that's what I did. I just like saw a bunch of other people do it. And I'm like, I want to do that. I mean, that's pretty much what I did.
Well, that's most folks will just take like an old van, like the old, the band getting in the van and everyone's living in the van. Driving around the country or around a few states. And
if I was single, I'd do that. If I was single, I'd do that thing just because I could park more anonymously.
Oh, right.
But like having a wife, I mean, even having a wife that would want to live on a bus is rare. I couldn't imagine talking her into a van.
I picture you with that school bus getting like a custom wrap around it, like with your logo on it, similar to what you see on the race car, because your logo's on a race car.
That's true.
Tell me about that. How's the car doing? Like, do you follow the driver?
What was the question? Sorry, I got excited. What did you say?
Do you follow the driver? Is he doing well?
Dude, he's my buddy. Yeah, Justin Russell rules, man. He's won every race with it so far.
That's awesome.
He's like a legendary like dirt track racer, bro. So he just wins every single race, and like he was on TV with it, and like he's been in articles with it. He's killing it, man. He's my hero, man.
That's so cool. And what people don't know is like having your name, having your logo, having your brand on the side of a race car. It's a big deal. Like the dollars that businesses will spend to be on a car, it's up there. I mean, with advertising, like it's up there in dollars. So
the value you're getting is incredible. Yeah,
it's definitely a flex for sure. And I'm just trying to swoop the market real fast. I'm very lucky to have people. I mean, even being on your show is the same thing. You know, it's like so I appreciate every person that hooks me up like that. I mean, you too. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody, it's all a collab, man. You know,
Yep.
It's just like however we're all just lily padding each other. Like people know he's a race car driver that wouldn't know, and people know my show that wouldn't know. So it's like it's a win-win. And same with you, man. It's like being on the shows, like you have people, I have people. It's just the same thing, and it's like just all a collab constantly, you know.
Yep, we're all in this together. That's for sure. That's the thing about comedy. Nobody knows what it's like when to go on stage and give your soul to people and hope they laugh. Other than other comics, there's just no other way about it. I mean, maybe musicians. I mean, musicians for sure, but yeah. I mean, nobody understands what that's like.
I try to get away from it, but I keep coming back. You know, I said I'd do comedy for 9 years, but there's so many years I just didn't do it. And I started in 2014, but like, I'd be like, oh, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I'd be in like some movie, like I was in like Rampage Prison Down, and I was just like, oh, I do movies now, bro. And I was like the only movie I've ever been in. You know, I was like, or like, no, I was in another one too. I was like Psycho, but I mean, I had the thought process, like now that I'm in one movie, I could be in every movie. And I'm like, okay, I can just keep, I was like, yeah, I was in that movie. Can I be in this movie? I'm like, it just didn't work like that, you know? So, but I am like on a TV show coming out soon. They're called That Strip Club Show. I'll have more info on that. I mean, starting trailers and stuff, but no, yeah, no, comedy's great, man. It's the best feeling in the entire world.
So you write too, right? Like you write for like television, or do you just write for your comedy? I mean, I guess or movies. Like I know you were working on a project at one point.
Several. So okay. I just do whatever I want all the time, you know? I just feel like whatever sounds fun at the time. I'm like a little kid playing with his action figures almost, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm just like, that's like how I feel. I feel like the same way I felt as a kid playing with action figures. I want to create everything all the time, and I just want to make cool stuff. And I kind of just make fun of everything else and kind of want to make my own thing, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's admirable and something that I know a lot of us in the comedy world strive to be able to do, to full-time just be able to go in.
Takes forever, dude. It takes forever. So I mean, I was broke through my entire 20s. Like, dude, it takes forever. And like, I wasn't rich through my like early 30s and stuff. But I'm like, you know, and I'm like, I can do whatever I want. I don't have any bills. Like, if I had bills, it'd be different. You know what I mean? So it's like I made my life like this to where it was easier. It's like, and like, it's grass is always greener. You just don't see everybody's hustle. You know what I mean? Yep. Everybody's got a good hustle and like whatever. But I'm saying like, it takes a long time, man. Because everybody's chasing it, and like you gotta get established. And nobody loves you at the beginning. Then everybody loves you at one point, then they hate you, and it just goes back and forth constantly.
Speaking of, I saw a post you put up, it might have been even today or yesterday. You said in the future, everybody gets canceled. So what I took it like in a deep way, like in the future, the things and how minuscule every little thing can be debated, like because of social media and whatnot. The minor mistakes that you would normally make in your life can suddenly become something that just crushes your livelihood. How did you take it when you posted that?
I just thought it was funny, and like I take it several ways, man. To be honest with you, like the most extreme way, I'd be like, they're all just trying to kill us, man. Like I mean, they're all these rich people are just like, oh, the world's overpopulated, and I'm the person to fix it. You know, that's like how all these billionaires sound to me. And I'm like, oh man, that's terrifying. And then like all this World War like BS and stuff, and just like, oh, they want to kill us and sell us weapons. And products. I mean, like they want to sell us everything while they kill us, and I feel like that kind of, and like I feel like the same, like you said on like the office level, you're just like oh well, like Kevin said, fuck, like 6 years ago on Twitter, he should just be starved to death. Yep. You know, I mean, it's basically what it is. It's like you can't. I mean, in this country, you cannot. I mean, tech has definitely gone around the First Amendment, where it says only that Congress cannot infringe on their rights. But I doubt Thomas Jefferson meant corporations can. You know, correct. I think they basically are robbing us of our rights left and right. We're slaves right now, and I don't even know how much longer I could say that.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Isn't it interesting that one little like post, like one line, it was a one line thing, and it could go 100 different ways, and it can have actual, impact on your life 10 years from now, because somebody could take it the wrong way, or life's different and they'll come back and retro penalize you. But it's scary.
I think Americans forgot that anyone in a basement or anyone in a garage can run these companies out of business. Anybody in their like apartment or whatever, their parents' house, whatever they're thinking, they think like as long as you put your mind to it, you can make a better business, and like that's the thing. It's like you can't fire yourself. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't cancel yourself, and that's a very American thing. Spend $30, get the LLC. That's what it costs in Missouri. I don't know your price, but like, if you get a $30 LLC in Missouri or wherever you're from, and start a company, dude, and like just like that's the way out. It's like they can't. I mean, yeah, these corporations just enslaved us all for like we're supposed to just like give up our entire life to like give people that print money. It makes no sense. It's like I'm supposed to give a bank all this money when they print it. It's just like what? It's just like. It's just ludicrous to me, and I don't want to take part in any of it. Like, to be honest, I'm just not interested. And time's more valuable than green pieces of cotton fiber, you know?
So how do you use, like you were saying, start a business and change the world from your basement or the garage? But when you need the platforms that are available to you, because that's where the masses are, how do you do it? Like, take, for example, YouTube. If YouTube, shuts you down for however long for community guidelines or whatever, just from you putting out your creative, I mean, how do you overcome that? Don't you think that's going to get even worse down the line?
I think I'm in the middle of that, and that's funny you bring that up. I have like chills talking about that, and I'm in the process of that. So basically, what I did whenever YouTube's like, "Oh, you're grounded for a week," I basically hit up every single radio station I could, and I'm trying to syndicate my show on radio. I just got more mad. I'm like, just gonna get in real life more. I'm like, you can't ban me in real life. You know what I mean? It's like we take the internet away, I'm back to putting you in a trash can, homie. You know?
Yep.
Like as far as like YouTube goes, not you directly. I'm metaphorically you as the YouTube. But I'm just saying, like Mark Zuckerberg's probably the only nerd that could beat me up.
Yep.
He trains, bro. He trains. I'm not a fool. I'm not messing with him. But any of the rest of them, man, like, they're tyrants, man. And they're just baby dick tyrants. They got picked on in school, have some inferiority complex and think we're nothing and there's something. And it gets old, man. It's like we're all just chill, We're all people, dude. Like, you're not better because you have more money, dude. And you enslave people,
So you think Zuckerberg is, I know he trains, but you think he's dangerous? You think he could fight?
As me, who doesn't train, yeah. If I trained, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying that guy. These guys are smart, man. They are smart, and they got a lot of stuff going for them. I mean, you don't become a billionaire being dumb,
True.
So the way he looks at Facebook is how he looks at fighting. It seems like he takes it that passionately. I'd worry about Zuckerberg, brother.
He's a guy too that didn't inherit his empire. He grinded and created it.
That's the story, at least. I have a weird feeling about Facebook, but that's definitely the story. Because, like, in every other market, like Russia, for example, they have VK.com. They have a very similar story to Facebook. Like, all these countries are using, like, this story, but it all seems like just, like, in our situation, it just seems like CIA, like, database mining.
Yep.
Like, to me, that's what social media seems like. It's, okay, take your face picture. Okay, now we have facial recognition software everywhere. Okay, type every thought, so we track this. You see any dissidents. Okay, all the dissidents are banned. Okay, put all the dissidents on different apps. Put them on Gab. Put them on Follow. It's just like they're basically separating us. And it feels like either a globalist takeover or we're in the middle of a communist takeover, and it could be the same thing. I don't know.
So what do you see? Like, it's always the past, becomes the future. Everything always comes back, and it's not just in politics and in government. It's also in brands and just how we live. What's the timeline look like? I mean, you can see the wheels in motion. I mean, everything you're saying, you see the wheels in motion, but when do you think it really comes to a head, or do you think it already is?
It already is. I think it already is. I think we based our civilizations on Rome and Greece, and they both got ransacked by barbarians. It seems like a barbarian attack. I think China's throwing their pawns at us. They're throwing their pawns at Israel. They start the fronts. They want to spread our fronts. They want us to have a front in Taiwan, a front in Ukraine, a front in Israel. And they want us to spread us thin, basically, and that's how Hitler lost the war. And they have all the factories. That's how the North won the war. They have all the people too. That's how the North won. I mean, any war, you know what I mean? Like, you look at, like, we have no industry. We have a bunch of people that are going to freak the fuck out when they see what's about to happen.
They're throwing the pawns at us, and we don't have the chess players in order to overcome it, unfortunately.
We probably could. I mean, if we fought, we got a chance, man. We got a chance. I mean, it's like people have to realize it, and people have to stand your ground, I mean, if it comes to that. But, I mean, also, it could be a renaissance. It's a weird time, man. Everybody's, like, getting smarter, too, right now. I feel like we all kind of rose up intellectually, and, like, everyone's going to the next level in their life. So, I have mixed feelings. It could be really nice, and just the TV's just trying to scare us into submission, It's like, it's just like I have several opinions. I just don't know which one's real.
Yeah. Well, that's the beauty of it. Having the opinion and being able to have a platform to be able to talk about it is important. I mean, that's the American way, is to be able to freely speak. And I definitely appreciate anybody who uses their voice in order to do that, because change can't happen.
I think so too. I think it's enough people just just tired of their way. I mean, my problem right now, the problem is the cell phone, man. Like, it lets me be on a show like this and like have a good conversation, good comments and stuff, and like, but also it tracks me every second of my day, my conversation, my video, my GPS, my information I type into it. I'm basically just typing into a database constantly, and like I'm a slave and I hate it, and I'm like they hooked me. You know what I mean? Like with because it's hard to exist outside of it in the way I do in such leisure. Is the problem, because I could go buy some land and live in the woods and stuff, and I probably will eventually. I mean, even to be honest, but I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of work where I could just copy paste sentences and sell ads and get guests all day, and like my life's easy, and like it's got me by the leisure, like he's got me in chains by leisure, you know.
Yep. You got to get back out on the road. You got to see what's going on out there. That's what we need you back out on the road.
I will soon, man. You talking about some shows too, man. I mean, you're by two markets I'm in at least, you know.
Yep, absolutely. And
you're not far from Kansas City either.
No, not at all. I love Kansas City. How often do you get to Kansas City and do shows?
I did my first show there on the way out to Nebraska.
Okay.
I showed the Kansas City Comedy Club, and it was really nice. And I'm trying to establish those markets and stuff. And I think the bus helped, man. It's added the hype. Like everyone knows at that comedy club, like kind of partied on my bus afterwards in Kansas City, you know?
Yep.
So I think it's just adding to the hype, you know? Like the bus is more successful than I am at this point.
But then, you know what? It doesn't matter how you get there. It's that you get there.
Yeah, it's weird being part of like several circles. Like I have a giant beard, so I'm immediately into like all this like beard oil, beard people industry.
Yep.
I mean, I like hot sauce. I'm in all these like hot sauce niche groups. I smoke and eat a lot of weed, and like I'm in all these like weed groups. And then comedy. I'm a comic, so like we're like that's how we're friends, because we both have like the same delusional dreams.
Yep.
And like, like you know, and delusion is just a matter of like how many people participate, I guess. But I mean, it still feels like it. No matter how cool we make ourselves seem, we're still ourselves, you know.
One other thing we have in common is our red hair. With the big beard, it's even more noticeable that you have red hair. I mean, growing up, what was that like for you? I'm sure it was very similar.
Yeah, so the first so many years of my life, I thought my name was Faggot. Throughout all middle school, I thought my name was just Faggot. I'm like, oh, okay, that was like a fun nickname.
Yeah, I just thought it was an off color of my hair, but no, that's funny. That's good.
And then South Park came out, and then like everybody's just trying to call me names, and then I got really tall, and then nobody talked shit for a while.
Yeah, when I first met you, I'm like, you are much taller than I thought you were.
That's hilarious too, because like, dude, I remember being young, and like people would talk shit on the internet to me in like my town or something like that, and they like see me at a bar, they're like, oh. Because like I was a little fat kid, the bowl cut, man. Like when the red hair thing, of course everybody made fun of me. I'm just being honest. Like,
yep.
If red hair, you stick out and stuff. I don't know if that happened to you, but it definitely happened to my community. And then all of a sudden, I'm 6'2". You know? See,
at least you had that. At least you grew up and got tall, and when people saw you, they're like, oh shit. That never happened for me. And if anything, I got worse. I had to get glasses, so I am the nerdy red-haired kid that just never got big. So.
Yeah, it just depends. Yeah, it's situational, man. Like you're not always winning, you're not always losing, man. It's always situational, and it just made. I mean, my parents were were funnier and better at anything, making fun of people than anybody else was. So it gave me an extreme edge. I think my mom, if she was like had an ego, would be a way better comedian. I just don't think I think she just wants to watch TV and enjoy her life and not care.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I just feel like she'd be a way better comedian. Like she's like way funnier when she's on point.
Oh, that's awesome. My dad is a Marine, so whenever he's used to taking shit, but he can give it back too. So he's definitely a much better roaster than myself as well.
I actually met your family. Your family's cool, man. I met your mom and your dad. They were cool, man. I remember that.
They thought you were fantastic. Everybody had positive notes from the show, and they were like, oh man, we should have stayed for the second. And I'm like, you would have left once I got up. That's for sure. I mean, it was that bad, but.
I think they messed up by booking it on a Thursday, also splitting the show, and then also just like it was like I need to get more established in that market and buy more ads. Like usually when I buy ads, I do better. I thought it was already covered. I thought it was like a bar that just had people at it, and we'd come there and like bring like 50, 20 people on top. Yeah. You know, that's what I was viewing, and I was just like, that didn't happen.
Live and learn, and next time it'll be much better. That's for sure. Lincoln is a good market.
You guys in Seattle, where my heart is, Seattle's hard because everybody thinks I'm homeless when I try to pass out flyers, and then like there's just so many homeless people. Like I know it's hilarious, but it's true. It's like I literally I was like walking around with like a drink, like some like Asian like liquor or something I found in this store out there, And I'm just walking around trying to pass down. I have like a foot long beard. This isn't video, but so everyone just like thinks I'm homeless and just ignores me. Just like straight looks and just all these tech dorks just ignore me.
You just need a sign that's right next to you in big bold letters that says, "I'm not homeless. See my show," and hand out flyers.
Trust me, I'm not homeless.
Trust me. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
I didn't know what I was up against, and we had a good show there. The comedians there were awesome. It was also a venue that like Pearl Jam played their first like 5 shows, so that was pretty cool. And it was like big like Seattle kind of thing. Everyone in Seattle's probably been to that venue. And anyone around there in Tacoma, their city's been there. Washington was cool. I think they're not used to my vibe, which I mean, a lot of my friends that are like is like libertarian more, Republican more, whatever classic, whatever genre I put myself into, whatever glass bottle I can put my beliefs into, But I think like they're afraid to go to the Western markets, and I think that's what we need more than anything is like people getting along, because I think like other comics are very just anti, like Republican, anti, like a bunch of my friends' associations and stuff, and like I think when they met me, they're just like, oh, this is like another dude, like, and I think that's very important right now.
The Seattle market definitely leans that left side, and it is actually. I think a better audience to perform in front of, because then the jokes hit a little harder. I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily going to laugh, but I think the jokes will hit harder and you'll be more memorable to build, on in the future. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think like it's smart building, and I think like just the conversation and getting along. It's like you have a bunch of people in Missouri being like, I hate Democrats. And you have a bunch of people in Seattle being like, I hate Republicans. And I'm like, man, just like break bread, man. Shut up. Like we're going to be extinguished to this thought process.
This episode of Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odom, is brought to you by the vaccine for intellectual trauma. From the makers of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine is the latest and greatest needle stick you need. Have you ever been in a weird conversation with somebody, whether it was random small talk or maybe, just maybe, you're just two people that should be having a face-to-face conversation? Well, right now, head to your nearest nurse and get the vaccine for intellectual trauma. It will give you a scent that expresses through your shoulder that will be able to deter any of those random conversations that just aren't necessary. If you are someone that goes out in the public, or maybe, you go to the grocery store to buy groceries to feed your family and don't want to clog up the aisle standing in the way of the workers who are trying to do their job and fill the shelves for you, this will help. Get the vaccine for intellectual trauma. It will send off a scent to everyone around you that says, I don't want to talk to you. This isn't worth my time. It's from the makers of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine, and we know that worked. Make sure to get today the vaccine for intellectual trauma, a proud sponsor of Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odom. Now back to the show.
Well, this is the part of the show I've got a few jokes, new jokes that I'm working on, and then I have a conspiracy idea I want to run by you, because I know you were asking for conspiracy theory ideas the other day. But first I want to run a couple jokes by you. Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. The first one, and these are just ideas that I'm trying to develop in a joke. So you just tell me if it's funny, if it has anything to it. But you know how kids with Down syndrome have like a certain look?
Yeah.
Okay. I think kids that grow up drinking a whole lot of Mountain Dew are on that same level. Like you can pick them out of a crowd. And you being in Missouri, I'm sure you see that often.
Yeah, dude, that's a good premise, man. I like that. That's good. That's a good comparison and funny. Yeah, no. Because you'll get the Mountain Dew drinkers pissed off of that. I like that,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Okay, second one. You're driving up and down the interstate or the highways, and you see like couches and chairs like on the side of the road. I don't know if you see that in Missouri. We see that a little bit here in Nebraska. But now I get why NASCAR is so popular, because people just love sitting on the side of the road breathing in fumes. So they're just setting up their chairs and having a poor man's NASCAR race sitting on the interstate.
That's hilarious.
All right, do I have anything with that?
Hey, wait, one sec. People sit on the interstate there?
Oh, I've never seen anybody sitting on it, but I've seen a lot of chairs. So I'm just assuming potentially somebody could sit there. I mean, there's a chair.
That's funny. Okay, no. I was trying to get context. I was like...
No, it would be even funnier, I guess, if we actually had people sitting on the side of the interstate.
I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
Awesome. Okay, so here's my conspiracy idea, and you tell me if there's potential to this. You know how when you go to a grocery store or really anywhere that sells balloons filled with helium, you get the balloons that just like randomly somebody loses them and they float up to the ceiling and they're up there until they lose helium. I think they're actually spy balloons gathering all of our data.
That's probably true.
I think it could be. I wouldn't put it past it. Big corporations, it wouldn't take much to float up some balloons and have some cameras in them.
I believe it personally.
I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like you were just saying with the cell phone, you are literally tracked on every move you make. Like all I do is have my phone in my pocket and it knows my heartbeat, it knows how many steps I take, it knows where I'm going, like it knows what I'm saying. I question if it knows what I'm thinking, just because sometimes you're scrolling and like something you were thinking about that you didn't say like pops up as an ad. Like there's got to be some crazy shit with balloons in the stores because they're everywhere.
It sounds like your phone just collects all the data.
That could be too. Fuck the balloons. It's just balloons. I was just causing a stir.
I was agreeing with it just to be funny. I think that's fake.
Awesome. All right. Well, what else do you have to plug? Like, what else you got going on?
I don't know. That's a good question. I got a TV show called That Strip Club Show, and like I think we're casting. So if like people are listening, and they want to be on a TV show. That's stripclubshow.com. That's my buddy's show he wrote. I'm playing a character like myself, except for gay and richer. Playing a gay Dogecoin millionaire. So,
and where will it be filming?
St. Louis area.
St. Louis. Okay.
And then what else, man? My podcast. I mean, this is Wednesday. Just released. So yesterday I went live at these rock stars tell ghost stories. Hopefully that's the title of these. And by Thursday it'll be on YouTube. I mean, I'll have it like YouTube. I still have like it's a decent platform. I just can't go live on it this week because the people that try to murder people with vaccines and got sued for billions of dollars for lying about a bunch of the products. Said I did medical misinformation. So that's interesting. Interesting projection, you know.
Awesome. AnthonyRogers.us is the website. All your tour dates are on there. All the updates on the Anthony Rogers Show is on there. You can also see his film credits and seeing where you can see him in film. Dang, you are a busy guy. I know you've said you're not, and you're just living life in Missouri, but you're a busy guy, dude.
Trying to be, man. Trying to be an adult. You know?
No, you when you're a kid, all you want to do is grow up and have dreams and have, the job of your career, and then when you're an adult, all you want to do is be a kid and wish you had that freedom again, without having to pay the bills, of course.
It's very true, and I think I kept myself out of a lot of debt. I didn't have kids young. I didn't go to college. Even when I did, it was paid for. I didn't I made a lot of hard decisions that really sucked at the time. But I think being broke through your 20s really sucked. Like all my friends are getting places and cars and spending $200 on a bar tab, just being wild and stuff, and I'm like, broke it, and then now it paid off. Now it's just delaying. I feel like I delayed my gratification. Right, I don't have any bills still. I feel like I still am like a Peter. I feel like I'm like the last Peter Pan. I feel like I'm able to just do whatever I want all the time. I'm helping my mom right now, Keel and stuff. I'm still allowed time to do whatever I want. I feel like I pretty much without the situation, I'd just be somewhere random with my bus in the woods or wherever I want to be, just eating really good food and riding or doing whatever I want to do,
Yeah.
Working out, and I like trails and stuff. I don't know, man. I'm having a good time, man. I appreciate you having me on your show, dude. This is a cool concept. I hope this blows up and you get bigger than Joe Rogan, dude. Honestly,
that would be awesome. And if that was to happen, I will certainly have you back and give you all the credit because it hasn't happened yet. So
you don't have to give me the credit, but I will be a guest on it. And is this your second show then?
This is episode 6.
Oh wow, okay. I must have zoned out for a second. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So wow, okay. Well, it's cool being on the first couple episodes, man. And I hope it just keeps going, man. I hope we keep killing it, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. And thank you again for taking the time. And I hope to see you soon, and we can be on a show together next year.
Sure. Yeah. Let's get some Nebraska shows going.
Thank you again to the very funny Anthony Rogers for joining Laugh With Me. What a great episode. Thank you again for listening, subscribing, sharing any of the content from the show. I appreciate it so much. We've got a bunch of great episodes lined up for you coming up here in the next few weeks. And we're just going to keep it rolling. If you've got any ideas, suggestions, or you just want to be a guest on Laugh With Me, you can hit me up on any of my socials, or you can email me at laughwithmepod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget, live stand-up comedy, November 30th, Omaha Funny Bone. I'll be there. I'll give you the best 5 minutes that I've got. And there is all kinds of fantastic live comedy in Omaha, Lincoln, Council Bluffs, all in the area. If you're listening from the local area where I'm at, go out and see a show. There's one just about every single night. That about wraps it up. It's Laugh With Me.